What if Luxembourg never existed? Luxembourg is one of the smallest countries in Europe, but it's also one of the richest. Its GDP per capita is currently around 32,000 euros, which is around 35,000 US dollars. This is around 3 times higher than the United States and almost 4 times higher than its European neighbors, Germany and France. At this point in time, most of Western Europe was under the rule of one monarch or another. But the Congress of Vienna had just restored the Dutch monarchy after they had lost most of their territory in the previous century. While the region did have a lot of potential, it also had a large standing army, a cumbersome bureaucracy, and a lot of infrastructure that had been built during the Napoleonic Wars. In order to keep the region economically afloat, the Dutch decided to lease it to a newly independent Belgium for 65 million Dutch guilders. Now, while this treaty didn't last long, it did set up Luxembourg as an independent buffer state between France, Belgium, and Germany. And although it was only intended to last for a few decades, it has lasted for almost 200 years. But what if Luxembourg never existed? How would Europe be different today if the Dutch and Belgians had never signed that treaty? Well, for starters, Belgium would probably be a lot more powerful today. Without the extra territory, the Belgian Revolution wouldn't have taken place. And without the presence of a Dutch-speaking country between them, the Flemish and Walloon regions might have come together to form a greater Belgium. This would have made Belgium one of the largest countries in Europe. Then there's France. The expansion of France is usually caused by internal conflicts within France itself, such as during the French Revolution or the Napoleonic Wars. Finally, there's Germany. Without Luxembourg, Germany would have been closer to France and Belgium, which may have made it easier for them to conquer these countries. Then again, this may not have happened since the German Empire was largely a coalition of many smaller states rather than a centralized nation-state. So in conclusion, the absence of Luxembourg would have had some significant impacts on Europe. It would have led to a larger Belgium, possibly a greater Belgium, and might have allowed Germany to expand earlier, although this is not certain. What is certain, however, is that France would have been in a bit of a weird situation with a large chunk of land being separated from the rest of the country. Thank you for watching.